Welcome, new student, to the DIY University of Arts official orientation. You've just been accepted into the most magical, whimsical, and totally free art school in the world. I'm Professor Bailey. I'm a self-taught artist. My painting journey used to be laced with frustration and dissatisfaction. But in 2025, I decided to take my dreams seriously and treat my learning journey as if I were in school. Everything transformed for me, and I went from this to this in only 4 months. So today, student, we're going to save you potentially years of wasted time by guiding you through the process of creating a flexible, self-guided 12-month plan to get you exactly where you want to go. So, gather your class materials, notebooks, quills, and ink, pour a cup of lavender tea, put your dragon to sleep, and come build your very own DIY art school curriculum. Let's get started. Step 1. Choose your major. Just like we do at any university, you have to pick a focus. A lot of beginner artists feel like they need to learn everything to be legit, but many successful artists are known for doing just one specific thing really, really well, and that is the secret to fast growth. Focus. For me, that meant focusing on fantasy landscapes. Then I zoomed in even further. Dragons and skies. That's it. So now it's your turn. Take a minute. Pick a medium, then pick a theme or a subject you're obsessed with. In the description, I've included a free 28-page workbook with expanded prompts to help you create your own learning plan. You can easily download that and follow along, or simply use a notebook or blank document, whatever you like. So, now that you've locked in on your major, it's time to build your course list. In every creative discipline, progress comes from 5 key elements, which make up the base of our curriculum: study, practice, analysis, creative development, and lifestyle. So today, I'll help you build your timetable using these 5 core courses, and you get to set the learning objectives, homework, and schedule. Let's go. Welcome to Art 101, Building Your Artistic Foundation. One of the critical aspects of growing as an artist is growing in your knowledge base. Your first task, write up a course description. Fill in the blanks. This course is about deepening my understanding of insert bird's eye view of specific skills or concepts you want to learn. Instead of just passively consuming content willy-nilly, I'll build a real foundation by studying these topics intentionally. My goal is not to learn just how to copy or execute, but how to understand what I'm doing and why. The next part of our syllabus is figuring out our learning outcomes. This is where you dive deep into your goals for what you want to learn this year in this area of knowledge. What do you feel is most holding you back? What topics would be most beneficial for you to study? Brainstorm a list of learning objectives, and once you have done that, examine your list. It's crucial that you set SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. If your goal is learn how to be as creative as Leonardo da Vinci, you may have a problem. So now that we have our course description and we have our learning objectives, we're going to use that to build out our assignments. Pick a few consistent learning activities that you'll do every week. This is your homework and your class time. Some examples could be picking a monthly topic of focus, watching 1 to 2 tutorials every week about your focus topic, keeping a study log or a learning journal, reading a chapter or an article about an art concept every week. There are tons and tons of free or low-cost resources to start your learning journey. There are online platforms like YouTube, like Skillshare. I will list here some of the recommendations I have. Podcasts, as well, is a great source of information. And of course, books, articles. Check out your local library. There are just so many resources. Oh my goodness, it's storming up a storm. So, you've cracked the code on how you are going to study the theory of your art in this year. But now it's time to figure out your practice. So welcome to Art 102, Building Skill Through Repetition. This is the heart of your training. But here's the thing, without a plan, just sitting down and creating will only get you so far. Pick one skill at a time and obsess over it. If you want to master painting skies, Paint 15 different skies. You want to learn to mix the perfect muted green? Mix 15 muted greens. Just as essential as staying focused, if not more so, is learning the foundations. So if you're a painter, paint color wheels, color swatches, gradients, master them. Do the exercises that you would be forced to do if you were in school, because you are in school. If you're hungry to learn, those exercises that look boring on the outside, they won't feel boring because you'll be learning so much, you'll feel your brain expanding. Repetition is essential, and whatever you have to do to make it work for you, do it. This is how the pros train in every artistic discipline. A ballerina doesn't just do one plie in her entire life and be done with it. No, she repeats them every single day as her warm-up. We're going to walk through the same process for each one of our courses. We start with our course description. Fill in the blanks. This course is all about doing. I'll train my hand, eye, and intuition by practicing specific skills through targeted repetition and exploratory play. The goal is not perfection, it's mileage. This course will help me build muscle memory, confidence, and a toolkit I can rely on. I'm going to spend 12 months making, insert your medium, photographs, paintings, necklaces, regularly, and mastering, insert 3 to 5 high-level areas in which you want to grow in my work. To brainstorm what you want here, think about what kinds of techniques or elements you want to become confident in this year. It can be topical, it can be technical, whatever you want. Now let's expand on that with our learning outcomes. Write out what you want to be able to accomplish by the end of the course. So now it's time to build a weekly and/or monthly schedule of assignments. You can keep that vague or you can keep it very specific depending on how much detail you want to go into. So for me, my weekly assignments include doing 2 paintings and sketchbooking at least 15 minutes every morning. And then when I zoom out to the monthly, I have specific goals for painting collections that I want to complete and specific skills that I want to grow in. So we've talked about practice, we've talked about study. Now it's time to talk about analysis. For me, this is one of the biggest missing pieces in my artistic journey. So welcome to Art 103, Learning by Looking, Seeing and Thinking like an Artist. To want to grow fast, you have to learn to see. There are 3 kinds of analysis that I recommend including in your studies. Number 1 is self-critique. Regularly look at your work and just ask what worked, what didn't. Number 2 is master study. Choose a master artist every month. It doesn't have to be Michelangelo, just someone whose art you admire, someone who inspires you, and break down 3 to 5 of their works. And the last one is community feedback. It's so essential that you be sharing your work with other artists in particular and asking for their feedback. One of the biggest advantages of traditional art school is that you get feedback, not only from your peers, but from mentors. If you can find an art mentor, do it. This could be a massive boost. But if you don't have anyone in your life who can do that for you yet, there are lots of other ways you can get feedback. Join a local artist group. Look at community centers, libraries, online forums. There are lots and lots of options to get feedback. Fill in the blanks. This course trains my eyes and mind to see more deeply in my own work and the work of others. I'll learn how to give myself useful, kind, constructive feedback and understand why certain art works or doesn't. I'll become a better artist by becoming a better observer. Specifically, I'm going to master analyzing, insert 3 to 5 elements of your chosen medium, such as composition, color palette, etc. Now let's flesh out your learning outcomes. Think, what do you want to be able to accomplish by the end of this course? For example, I could say identifying what's working and what's not working in my own art without spiraling emotionally. Think about the assignments that you want to build into your life on a weekly and monthly basis. Some examples could include doing a weekly check-in at the end of the week, stopping to ask yourself, what did I make this week? What am I most proud of? And what do I want to change next time? Maybe once a month you make a practice of sharing your work in a safe space, an online group, with an art friend, whatever, and asking specific questions that give you the information you need, like How does this art piece make you feel? Where's the first place your eye goes? All right, student, welcome to my very favorite course. This is Magic 104, Inner Worlds and Imagination, Cultivating Your Creative Voice. This course is all about immersing yourself into the culture, into the world of DIY University, a world that nourishes your wildness. Take a sketchbook into the forest, watch a Studio Ghibli movie, write weird poetry. Your imagination is a skill like any other. Develop it. I studied creative writing in university, and the best semester I ever had was spent taking 2 condensed courses, one on advanced nature poetry writing and one on creativity. I spend my mornings walking through the woods looking for sticks to write poems about, and my afternoons learning about the power of creative play by literally making Play-Doh. So while our first 3 courses have been all about hard work, this one is about nourishing you. And without it, you not only miss out on the joy and wonder it provides, but the deep artistic development it will bring. Suggested textbook, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. This book is a game changer. It's about fueling your creativity and creating a lifestyle that sustains you. I'd also suggest as a supplemental resource the podcast Creative Pep Talk, which gives a lot of amazing information and advice on living creatively, and it's absolutely free. You know the drill, fill in the blanks. This course is where I stop trying to be like XYZ artist and start becoming me as an artist. I'll develop my imagination, nourish my inner world, and shape the vision I want to bring to life through my work. It's about play, intuition, exploration, and remembering why I wanted to create in the first place. This class is where my unique artistic voice will be born, where I will develop into the insert the kind of artist you want to be here, eccentric creator of fantastical worlds, that I was born to become by soaking in inspiration, studying creativity itself, and building a sustainable and satisfying creative practice. What do you want to achieve by the end of this course? For example, I want to discover the themes, colors, and ideas that I return to often in my work. And I want to learn the science behind achieving a flow state where I am suspending my own self-criticism. And now it's time to make your assignments. Here are a few ideas that you can choose from, but really, this is about doing whatever makes sense for you. Keep a creative journal. Jot down recurring ideas, themes, visuals, images. Have a daydreaming visualization practice, closing your eyes and sitting in the quiet and letting your imagination run wild. Take a daily creative walk. Spend 15 minutes walking alone with no headphones, allowing your mind to see and experience the here and now. Dance in the moonlight, literally or not literally. Allow yourself to freely express your creative soul in whatever way makes you feel the most vibrantly alive. Put on an album that makes your soul just start to move. Bake a 3-tier cake and decorate it lavishly. Run through a field of wildflowers and weave them into your hair. You're not doing it to achieve anything, but just to express yourself and have fun. This is our final course. Welcome to Life 105, designing a life that nurtures your art, creating a lifestyle that allows everything we've been talking about to actually occur. What does that mean? That depends on you. Maybe it means regularly moving your body. Maybe it means getting enough sleep. Maybe it means protecting your energy. Often, acts of self-care can feel like a luxury you don't have time to waste on, but you don't have time to waste not taking care of yourself. You are not an art-making machine, and you have to keep caring for yourself. Because if you don't, your art is going to suffer. But more importantly, you are going to suffer. Fill in the blanks. This course is about building a real life that supports my dream life. Life 105 is where I create the inner and outer conditions that allow creative work to happen, not just in short bursts, but consistently, gently, and joyfully over the long term. I'm going to put intention into developing the practices of insert your creative rhythms, routines, habits, and their frequency here. I am also going to add 3 to 5 self-care habits you specify, such as a weekly yoga session, getting 8 hours of sleep, drinking more water, whatever. in order to ensure that my holistic needs are met. All right, let's write down your learning outcomes. By the end of this course, some examples could include develop a personalized weekly rhythm that balances studio time, rest, movement, and joy. Cultivate lifestyle habits that protect my mental health. Learn to recognize and respond to creative burnout before it happens. Time to build your assignment list, starting with assignment 1, choosing your core wellness habits. Pick your 3 to 5 small, realistic habits that will support your creativity long term. I'm talking about self-care here. I'm talking about drinking a glass of water before you start every painting session, or going on a 15-minute walk every day. Your ongoing assignment for this course is not to be continually picking up more habits, but to be executing the same habits over a long stretch of time. I would suggest tracking them if that's something that works for you. Assignment number 2 for this course is to manage your time, because that is so essential to meeting all the goals that we've set in all our courses and to not burning out. So start by blocking out the non-negotiables in your schedule. Work, school, date nights, church, whatever time blocks already exist for you, put those in first. Then around that, sketch out a weekly or monthly rhythm that creates space for you to complete all the assignments from your previous 4 courses. Whatever you have built into your course curriculums, this is where you actually implement it into your life. If you do this and you realize that it is completely impossible, that there is not enough time in your schedule to complete all the assignments you've given yourself, that is totally normal. Don't block in more assignments than you can actually accomplish without stressing yourself out unnecessarily. And don't forget to include time for Magic 104 and Life 105. Once you've made your schedule, your job is to live it out to the best of your ability. And remember, if it doesn't work, you are a free human being. Change the schedule. All right, new student, we've come to the end of our orientation. You've crafted your quest, gathered your course materials, checked your text scrolls out of the enchanted library. The road ahead of you, it's yours to shape. But before you go, here's one last truth from your professor. You don't need anyone's permission to be an artist. You just need to have the audacity to try and the bravery to keep trying, even when you fail. There will come a day when you sit down to paint or create or photograph, whatever it is you do, and realize that you are the artist you once dreamed of becoming. I'll see you in class. Thank you for sticking around to the end of this orientation. I am so glad to have you here. Please like, comment, and subscribe to let the faculty know you liked this session. I'm really hoping to get tenure. If you have any questions whatsoever about your courses or class schedule, or whether it's possible to get a dragon as a roommate, I am happy to answer them in the comments. I hope you have a gloriously creative rest of your day. Happy studying. Do you like my professor coat? It has shoulder pads. I feel very businessy. It's been nearly 6 months since anyone was eaten by a dragon. The cafeteria is temporarily shut down. The pixies are on strike again.